Hey friends, it's Jackeline here. In today's video, I'm bringing you my review, demos, swatches, comparisons, and 2 looks using 2 of the new Holiday 2020 quads from McGrath. But before we get started, and if you're new here, I hope that you will consider and subscribe to my channel, ring the post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. And now, if you want to see all the details about these 2 new quads from McGrath, then just keep on watching. Yesterday I posted on my Instagram the images of these 2 boxes right here because I was like, okay, I mean, what a story. McGrath has come out with a beautiful, really large collection, but yeah. I don't want to dig too much into it, but anyhow, I placed my order with McGrath just like everybody else. We all have been waiting for a long time for the orders to get cheap, and so I think they have already cheap, so I will receive it. Anyhow, I ordered the 3 quads, also the highlighter. I ordered the lipsticks too, but they haven't arrived yet. So friends, I don't want to dig too much into this story right here, but I placed an order with Sephora, paid for expedited shipping, and it wasn't the fault of Sephora, but FedEx decided to, it was like about an hour away from my home, and they decided to take it all the way to North Carolina. What? So it was supposed to arrive my order last Saturday. I'm here uploading this video on Saturday, a week after. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit done with all of these, but I'm super excited because I'm gonna be bringing here to you my review, my swatches, my comparisons, you know, all the jazz right here, and 2 looks using each of the quads right here. Okay, my friends, these quads, they cost $58, and like I was mentioning to you, these 2 quads right here, they are available still at Sephora along with the big Celestial Divine Mega Palette right there. And there is a 3rd quad that I'm gonna wait until McGrath order arrive here to my house, and I don't know, the other 2 quads I may throw them on a giveaway during the holiday season. I'm trying to get to my 10k subscriber count, so maybe we can do a big party and a big giveaway. Who knows? I will keep you posted on that. Hopefully they arrive. Okay, my friends, so I'm gonna get you closer right now, and we're gonna start with the swatches, and I look for each eyeshadow quad, and then I'm gonna go into my final thoughts. Alrighty, my friends, I got you a little bit closer right here, and let's start with the first eyeshadow quad, which is Risque Rose. And this is the only eyeshadow quad that is made in Italy out of the 3, and it does have a shelf life of 24 months. The packaging is honestly divine, just as the big Mothership palettes. Now let's go into swatches. See right here, this shade, okay, this one feels so creamy. Wow, okay. Okay, this one right here is a duochrome. Okay, these 2 right here are the same formula, super creamy, buttery creamy. Rose Rebellion, Lavenderine, Mink Noir, Life on Mars. Scott Barnes number 62 brush and the shade Rose Rebellion. And by the way, if you're new here to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here, and thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day to be here with me when I do a review of any eyeshadow palette. I don't use any specific primer, I just basically use my concealer and a setting powder. And all the products that I'm using today on my face, it will be on the description down below for your convenience. Okay, let's go ahead and apply this pink shade. Just gonna take it a little bit above the crease and kind of like work it there and just kind of like diffuse it. Now this is not a matte shade, it's more of a kind of like a creamy satin. Now I'm taking this same shade and I'm gonna apply it on the outer third of my eyelid. Sonia G Classic Crease and Mink Noir. And I'm gonna take this shade and just apply it on my outer V. Wow, that's a lot of pigmentation right there. So let me just stamp it a little bit right here. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with whatever is remaining on the brush on this other side. Okay, and now I'm gonna start blending. Sonia G Builder Pro and the shade Life on Mars. And I'm gonna apply this shade from the inner third of my eyelid all the way to meet with the other darker shades. Now I have dipped into the same shade, but I'm gonna use a little bit of MAC Fix Plus. Wow. So you had kind of like a daytime look before applying it dry, and right now applying it wet. It's kind of like your afternoon kind of look, late afternoon. Sigma E56 brush and the shade Lavendarin. And now let's take this shade and apply it right in the middle of the eyelid. This brush is not really picking it up really well, so let's go now with a Smith 253 brush. Again, the same shade. Okay, now this brush picked it up a little better. If you can see right there. Alright, that's right. Oh yeah. I'm not having any fallout, but I will say be careful with this shade right here. It's not crumbly, but it's a soft shade. Sonia G Flat Definer and Rose Rebellion. Same brush and Mink Noir. Now this shade, I'm using it to define my upper lash line, create a mini wing right here, and then I'm gonna take it on my lower lash line and just connect it, getting an eye leaf right there. I just applied some falsies as well as a little bit of eyeliner, and now I'm gonna go for the lipstick. Now this collection came with two Pavé lipsticks. They are right here, but the shades are repeated shades. Are Omi, which is kind of like a pinky tone, and then Elson, which is the red tone, a classic one from Pat McGrath line. So I'm gonna just use Omi right here. This is one of the little ones. I went ahead and ordered the Pavé ones, but they haven't arrived yet. Is that a surprise or not? So I just want to show to you how it looks with this look. Now let's try the next quad, which is Interstellar Icon. And this quad is made in the USA with imported ingredients. Another thing to note right here too is that this quad right here has a shelf life of 12 months, which is half the shelf life of the other quad. What is it called? Risque Rose. Sorry, I'm done with so many names. Okay, my friends, so let me just show it to you. So same thing, same compact, and by the way, on the back you will find a sticker with the shades now printed. Let's go ahead. Yes. Oh, this is just gorgeous. Do you see? Oh, there you go. You can see it right there. It's turning purple from blue to purple. There you go. Okay, let's go ahead and swatch this friend. Okay, same creaminess. Now this shade right here is a repeated shade from Decadence palette. Golden Polaris, Hypnotique, Blue Blood, Divine Dahlia. Let's see if you can see the flip on this shade right here. There you go. Scott Barnes number 62 brush and the shade Blue Blood. I grabbed very little amount because I can tell these are super pigmented. And I'm just gonna work my way up and taking it to the crease and above the crease. I'm intensifying the same shade little by little. Sonia G Builder Pro and Divine Dahlia. Now I'm gonna take this shade and apply it right on the outer third of my eyelid. Sonia G Flat Definer and the shade Golden Polaris, and applying it on my inner third. I'm actually gonna use my finger and kind of like intensify it. There you go. A Smith 253 brush in the shade Hypnotique, and I'm taking this shade right on the middle of my eyelid. Going back to this same shade, and I'm gonna apply it wet with some MAC Fix Plus. Definitely you get more intensity applying it wet. Now I'm gonna intensify it and apply it with my finger. Wow, that shade is gorgeous. Sonia G Flat Definer and the shade Blue Blood. And I'm taking it on the lower lash line. And again, I'm just gonna line my upper lash line with this shade. Refer 03 brush and Golden Polaris. And I'm gonna apply it on my inner corner. And with whatever is remaining, I'm taking it to my brow bone. I'm applying right now the shade Elson. Okay, my friends, and now since I got you here very close, let's go into comparisons with other eyeshadow palettes from Pat McGrath. Starting with Risque Rose, let's go into this shade. And I'm gonna compare it with Divine Rose number 2. Very alike. I have to say though that the formula is the same. I mean, the difference right there is very minimal. This shade right here has micro glitters, so let's just give it a swatch, and it's also a duochrome shade. And let's swatch it with this shade over here. They are different formula. This formula right here is more of like the satin formula that you will find right here and right here. This one right here has micro glitters, and it has another base too. Now in comparison with Divine Rose 2, there's nothing like this one, so let's jump into this one right here. And let's go for this shade right here. This shade right here is, they both have a burgundy tone, but the one from Divine Rose number 2 is even more burgundy. It does have that wine color to it. The one from Divine Rose, it does have a little bit more purple in it. And I guess just for the fun of it, let's go with this one. And this one right here is a duochrome. It's actually, yeah, it's very, very different. So I'm gonna go those two right there. And then if you just want to see side by side Ritualistic Rose, this was the release from Holiday 2019. These right here are all Blitz Astral shades, which are her special shades, the ones that they are so look after on the big mothership palettes. So I mean, they will complement really well each other, I think, but I mean, formulation is different and shades are different too. Now I have here Rose Decadence, and here you go. I mean, this one right here is actually a duochrome, so it's different from this pink shade, but I have it here. Might as well, let's swatch it so you can see the difference. Let's start with this first. Now I'm comparing this palette, this specific shade, with Pat McGrath, the first mothership palette. This right here has a flip of blue, purple tone. I think these two maybe, yep, they're like, they're not identical, but they're like. Now let's compare Interstellar Icon. And okay, there is a shade right here which is Blue Blood that is repeated from, well, Star Wars palette or Decadence palette. So it's this one right here. Let's just see if it's the same or the same formulation. So let's go first with this. Yeah, same creaminess, same. Now let's try this shade. Now I want to compare it with this palette right here, and what I'm gonna do is something a little bit different. I'm gonna go to this shade right here, and then with my ring finger I'm gonna go to this shade so you can compare the different shades of blue right here. Now this right here is just an intense blue. Look at that. Okay, let's go with this. And you know what? Let's move forward with this blue right here. Again, this was from last year, and this is more like an aquamarine blue. I mean, like, oh goodness me. These two, wow, pretty similar. This one is more intense though. It does have a darker base. Now that I'm done with comparison swatches, you know, trying them on and see how the formulation goes, I can get into my final thoughts about packaging right here. Obviously, the luxurious packaging from Pat McGrath is gorgeous. Now, she has changed the back of the quad. Is not the same as last year. Last year's was a plaque. Actually, this is actually very expensive to make. It is completely engraved. I mean, gorgeous. This year she used the black portion and then she placed a sticker. Now, I don't mind the sticker because you know that I'm a luxury makeup lover, and honestly, I mean, like Tom Ford, he uses a sticker. Chanel also uses a sticker right here. I mean, I can go on and on. Charlotte Tilbury too, she uses a sticker, so it's not a big deal for me. I think obviously if we were going back to how much they cost last year, these quads, they were $65. Now the big difference right here is that last year quads, they consisted in all Blitz Astral shades, which are those very special and look after formulation from Pat McGrath big mothership palettes, which usually we will find them. They are usually the four last right here. They are special because they are duochromes. They have, I mean, they are micro glitters. I mean, like, they have another level of dimension. They are finely milled. I mean, they are just a beautiful formula. Okay, now going back to these quads right here, like I said, these costed less, $58 versus $65 of last year. I mean, the price difference is not a lot, but mainly right here, I know a lot of people complain. So it seems like humans were never happy for anything, and this is not because I'm in favor of Pat McGrath or against anybody else, but last year when she came out with these quads, which they were all her Blitz Astrals, a lot of people, including myself, we were super excited because it's like, wow, why are you getting those Blitz Astrals? You know, let's go for it, right? But then there were, you know, a giant amount of group of people and they were like, oh, you know, this is too much glitter, you know, how I'm gonna work the quads and whatnot. I mean, like, it seems like we can never be happy, right? So I think she listened to that group of people and said, okay, well then I'm gonna bring you my other formula. So here we don't find any of the Blitz Astrals, in any of the three quads. I know I don't have the other quad, but I know we don't have any, okay? Instead, she gave us the same formulation of matte from the mothership palettes, from the big palettes, which I'm super happy that that's the case, because if you have seen my review on this Rose Decadence palette, unfortunately her matte shades, they are really dry now. Like the ones that they come here on this carton box, at least I mean, I shouldn't say the first one that she launched this year, which was from Lunar Year, that was really nice. But this one right here, it was something to be like, it left me like, really? What happened? I mean, like, it's a little bit on the dry side. Now these palettes right here, they also come with some duochromes right there. So here you get, I mean, a really nice formula of duochromes, of her satin mattes, and these shades right here, they are beautiful. They just have a lot of shimmer in them. I mean, like, they are not as the Blitz Astral, but it gives kind of that same impression. I mean, your eye look will look like very impactful and very, very beautiful. So I think overall the palette is lovely. Now price wise, I mean, I pay for Charlotte Tilbury. What are these little quads with a little amount of product? I usually pay for these like $58. Oh, by the way, this one here is Fire Rose. It's gonna come out on November 5th, if I'm not mistaken. I will keep you posted. I already have a review on this one, so it's not yet available, but it will become available. And this one comes with 18 months of shelf life and 4.5 grams of product. While this one right here, it doesn't say. Okay, yeah, it says right here, it comes with 8 grams of product. So, I mean, I think she's giving us something that to me is worth the money. Now, in comparison with other Pat McGrath palette, for example, the Celestial Divinity palette, the Mega palette, that one I haven't tried it. I actually did upload a kind of like, it wasn't really a review, I just wanted it to bring you, because that palette has 12 repeated shades, which it got me a little bit, you know, like, it put me a little bit off of what I wanted to see from Pat McGrath. Although I see, you know, that it was great for those who were not able to get the Star Wars 6-pound palettes, and I'm just so happy for that. I even may end up getting it just, you know, during the Sephora VIV sale, the holiday event that is coming, you know, very soon. But anyhow, that palette, if you count it per gram, is $3.94 per gram, while this one right here is $7.12 per gram. Now, I don't want to be redundant, but like I said, I haven't tried the Celestial Divinity, that big mega palette, to tell you if it's the same formula or not. What I can tell you as of right now is that these quads right here, they have the same formulation as the big Mothership palettes. I mean, they are really good, really creamy. They have a lot of emollients in it. And now going into these 6-pound palettes, per gram, you're paying about $5.47. So, I mean, the difference in price between these and these, it's quite a bit. But then again, the formula that you're finding on these palettes right here, the new quads, is not the same quality as this one. It's more like the Mothership palettes. So to me, although it seems high the price in comparison with other luxury brands, I mean, even comparing it with Chanel, Chanel gives you very little amount of product. This has only 2 grams right here. I mean, like, it's nothing, and you're paying, like, I think these ones are $70, something like that. So they are between that $60-$70 range. So I think this one right here, again, to me, they are worth the money. Now, which one I like the most? With this one right here, I was able to accomplish something that it could work for daytime, also something more into like evening look. This shade right here is fabulous. This shade right here is fabulous too. This shade, I was able to build it up really well. Now, we find these type of shades right here in many of her palettes fairly often, as you were able to see by my comparisons. This one right here to me is the most unique, although we have a repeated shade right here. But I think, I mean, both of them are worth the money. And now I have my curiosity to know how is the new Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette from Pat McGrath, the mega one, because if in that case, if it's the same formula as these 2 quads right here, then you're better off getting the Celestial Divinity palette, although you're not receiving, I mean, like, these are gorgeous shades right here. And then the other quad is more kind of like a unicorn quad. So, I mean, you have to have, I mean, you have to like those shades to get it. But yeah, out of the 3, I will say from Color Story, this right here is very, very beautiful. I mean, this is stunning right here. And other than that, I heard that the Celestial Divinity eyeshadow palette too, the mega one, has a sticker right in the middle, and behind that sticker there is like a sun, is another type of design, and same thing on her lipsticks of the same design. Actually, I watched Tara Beige and she actually peel it off and show it. Now for that, I will have to say, in the designer aspect, because I'm a designer myself, it could have been that the design was approved, and then when it was already done and made, it wasn't really what they wanted it. Because if you see, when she takes off the sticker, seeing the sun with the design, the packaging looks too busy. It just, I mean like, this is really busy to me, but it just looks extra busy. So it could have been like an afterthought. I wouldn't have done the big change right there, because it cheapens out the product itself and the brand. So I just think that Pat McGrath, I don't know what's going on with the logistics side of it, not only for shipping taking too long. I mean, we can understand 2020 has made a huge change on all of us. Myself, I do have businesses, I do have 2 restaurants, and you know, we were going through one day, okay, you can seat people inside with a limited amount of people, and then no, everybody has to go outside, or you have to go and ask for a permit, you know, to seat people on the actual street, and then you have to go to the alcohol beverage department to get an extension on your license to serve on that area. I mean, there has been so many evolving changes here on 2020 with all what is going on right now with the pandemic. So I mean, like, I know some companies, they have it together, and some companies, they are still struggling quite a bit. I think Pat McGrath, she came from last year, she was also struggling with shipping, and I think she may have done a few changes here and there, but something may have gone wrong. I mean, it can be many things, and I'm not trying to justify, because as a client, I wish to receive my purchase on time. I think as YouTubers or influencers, beauty, you know, like people that review products, sometimes we transmit that anxiety that we have, that hey, we're not receiving our purchase, what is going on, you know, like, to you guys, to the consumers. And I think sometimes, I mean, I'm sure you guys understand us, because we come from the point of view of like, let's be the first ones to review these very hyped up products, and you want to get the review up for your subscribers, obviously. But you know, I know we have waited really long. I hope that Pat McGrath can work it out for logistics, so that way future releases, they go a little bit more smooth, and actually everybody can be really happy. And I mean, I even contacted Pat McGrath customer service through Instagram, and they have been really kind, really helpful, trying to, you know, help out as much as they could, but they don't have all the tools to do so. So I think there's something going on right there on the structure of the company that is just, unfortunately, I shouldn't say damaging the reputation of Pat McGrath, because Pat McGrath, she's an icon, you know, herself, but she just needs to kind of restructure her company, see who is leading what, so that way they can take the better decisions and, you know, at just serving, you know, in a timely manner, mostly in this country. And I'm saying this country, and I hope that you guys don't take it as an offense at all. I'm Peruvian, and you know, if you were in Peru, even if you buy something that is luxury, obviously, I mean, they treat you really well and whatnot. But here in the United States, we are really spoiled at the level of customer service that we receive. I mean, from even being able to return products. I mean, in Peru, literally, if you buy something and you just receive a call right there in front of the person who is helping you, and I don't know, the person on the phone tells you, I just bought it for you, and you're like, oh, I don't want it anymore, I'm gonna return it. They say, no, you just bought it, sorry, we cannot return it. That's the way it is. So here in the United States, it's a little bit different, and even in Europe, it's like that. I mean, they don't accept returns. I mean, complaints are taking like, really, what you're complaining about? So Again, I'm not making any justifications for Pat McGrath, but I'm just putting it on a perspective of like, okay, you know, let's just calm down and let's just come to a place of like, you know, let's understand the whole situation that we're living right now, and let's just hope for the best for, you know, the upcoming launches, and that Pat McGrath will listen us, her consumers, a little bit more. Okay, my friends, and I think this makes it for this video. Like I said, I will be reviewing the other quad and the other products, a highlighter too, when those items comes. Now, I would love to know from you, have you received your order, or are you planning to purchase any of these products from the Sephora upcoming sale? What are your thoughts about it? Let me know everything. I would love to hear from you. And while you're at it, and if you haven't done so yet, I hope that you will consider and subscribe to my channel, ring that post notification bell so you don't miss any of my uploads, and come and follow me on my Instagram. If you like this video, do not forget to give it a thumbs up, also share with family and friends, and until the next time, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.
This magic we keep making in the corner of the bedroom on the